It's time to go balls deep.
The EA Sports College Football Headquarters Podcast.
Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. My name is Alan Gigax, and I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Anthony Scafacci, and we have a special guest today, another member of the EA Sports College Football Headquarters Facebook page. We are here with Ty. Ty, say hi to everybody.
What is going on, everybody?
Yeah, buddy. So I know almost nothing about Ty, and I kind of like it that way because you, the listener, also know almost nothing about Ty. So we're going to find out together. And one of the things that I asked Ty in the pre-interview, is, what's your last name? Do you want me to use your last name? And he said, well, if you can guess my last name, that apparently would be very difficult for me to do so. And I think he's going to give me some hand service if I'm able to guess his last name. So, Ty. All right. So first, is it a word, like a word that's, just like a noun?
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Well, is it, like tree? Like if your last name was Tree, that's a noun. Is it a
is
noun?
not it is definitely not a noun. I tell you what,
Okay.
you can
Yep.
it is in something I've sent to you. I will give you that. If you can, I'm
Oh,
giving you the
shit.
clues. It's fucking there.
Well, dude, your email address. Okay. I just saw this. It is.
Galakowitz.
No, dude. It came up.
Ooh,
How did you send me his? Oh, here we go. Is it Pot? Paught?
it is not. That
Oh,
is
wait, is it Peck and
incorrect.
Pot?
You didn't say it right, so I
Peck and
can't give it
Paw?
to you. There it is. There you go. Bam. Ding,
Peck
ding,
and
ding.
Paw.
You
Oh,
got it.
dude.
That was
Hell
3
yeah.
tries, though, man.
Yeah, it was
You
3
were on
tries.
it,
Dude,
though.
that's good. That's how many I get. That's enough to get through the bridge, if you're a troll. All right, cool.
That is true.
Well played, Alan.
All
well
right.
played.
Yeah, dude, look at that. I'm a fucking detective. All right, so we are here with Ty Peckinpah, and the other interesting thing I know about Ty, and then this is where it all ends, is that Ty jumps out of helicopters. Now, Ty, is
Yeah.
this done recreationally, professionally, or both?
It is done work-wise. I, like to jump out
Okay.
of things. That's not a helicopter, but it's
Okay.
work-wise. I don't mind it. It can be good.
All right, so you work jumping out of helicopter. So my first guess is that you are a baggage handler at a fancy airport where like people come in their helicopters and you got to like unload their luggage and then you jump out when you're
You,
done. Did I get it?
you're pretty much fucking almost hitting the head on it. I mean,
Okay.
top of the tier service on that one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. The only thing that pays worse than that is in the military. So
Bang,
are
hey,
you
boom. You got it. I couldn't
Nice.
give
Not
it
only
away all the
do
way.
you have shitty pay, but they make up for it with shitty benefits as well.
No, the benefits
You
are
do
all
not
right.
want the health care. I tell you what, you'll go in and
Uh,
have more problems with you than you come out with, came in with.
yeah, that is fair. All right, so tell us what you do in the military that gets you into helicopters or out of them.
Well, I work in a special operations type of a unit, and
Oh, damn.
yeah, doing stuff like that. I enjoy it.
Dude,
It's not
that's
bad here in Colorado, so I cannot complain. I'm on my downhill road of my military service, so I've got I will say I'm not giving away my age or how long I've
okay.
been, but I'm at 3/4 of a tank, almost full. So I'm almost at the full mark. So we're getting there.
Nice.
We're over the hump.
Are you
Thank you for your service.
enlisted? Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
enlisted or are you a officer?
I am enlisted.
Okay.
I should have, if I would have known, to stay in college and do that, it would have been a better
The story
decision.
of all
I'd
of our
been
lives.
right. I would be getting paid way more, so
Uh,
it would be way worth it at this point.
Okay, well, I'm glad we didn't do much pre-interview because I got shit that I want to ask you about, and a big one is: have you gone through the Mountain Survival School
Oh, out in
near Palm Springs or wherever it is?
I have
Or
not
no?
went through
Okay,
mountain school at all yet.
Mountain
I had
School.
a
Yeah,
buddy
yeah.
go through it. Yeah, I had a buddy go do it, but
Dude,
I
I
have
heard that
not
like
gotten the pleasure of it.
one of the tests is like they just send you out in the wilderness for 3 days with like a knife and some water, and you have to live.
I do not
Is it-
know about that
All
at
right,
all
all
with
right.
that.
Well,
I've been to a survival school where, you go out in the woods and you do your thing, something similar to that.
Okay.
But I have not heard of Ramboing out in the field, man. I'm honest with you.
Understood. What branch of the service are you in?
I am in the Army.
All right, the
Nice.
Army. Yeah,
Yeah,
be all you can
yeah.
be.
Hey,
Yeah.
in the Army, Pauly
Yeah.
Shore, man. You know,
Oh
great
yeah, that's
movie,
right.
great movie. But I'm
I
not
was
a
thinking
water
more like
treatment
Tank
specialist like him.
Girl, but either way.
Oh, hey,
That's awesome, man. All right, so enough about that. Let's talk about college football. So I presume you play EA Sports College Football 25.
I have never heard of that game. I'm just kidding. Yes, of
Right.
course I play it religiously. Yes, I
Okay,
do. Ever since it came out, yeah.
that's awesome.
And
Are
I've been
you in
waiting.
any?
I mean,
Go
did
ahead.
I cut you off?
No,
Fucking
no,
my
dude.
bad on that
You're
one.
the guest.
You know, no, I have been waiting. I'm sure, like all of us, for however many years since EA, decided to like NIL gave us a break. I hate
Right.
the fucking assholes who wanted to get money and take the game away from us for this
Sure.
long. But I get it. But yes, I play it religiously, man.
But dude, it turned out that there was money to be had because this EA College Football is the top selling video game of 2024 and the best selling video football game of all time.
Well,
Yeah.
I
I
think
wonder
it.
if that's adjusted for like inflation because
No, no, no.
games are
Like
like 79.99
best
now,
selling
or is
video
it by
game
volume?
by volume, by units. It's the best
Nice.
selling college or football video game of all time, and
What?
the second best selling sports game of all time after NBA 2K.
Ooh,
Hmm.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have guessed
I'm.
NBA 2K.
I wouldn't have guessed
no,
that either.
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna
no.
guess no Nintendo Dodgeball. That game was fucking lit, dude. Yeah, dude, that game was
I
fucking
miss
awesome. You
ESPN
could do
making
like
it.
these jump throws, and you would nail a dude in the fucking head, and he'd go flying completely off the screen. I don't know how many of you guys remember that game.
Was this on the
That game was
Wii?
fucking lit, dude.
Was it on the Wii? Oh no, dude, you're talking about on the
No, dude, that
NES,
was
on the
like on
old
the old
school
school Nintendo,
NES.
bro.
I
Yeah,
Oh
totally remember
man.
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
like 8-bit
international.
fucking glory, dude.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was a fun game. There was a
Yeah,
lot of laughs on
but
that
apparently
game.
not the greatest selling sports game of all time.
No, it's got to be top 3 though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably number 3.
yeah. All right, so it's high. So you were waiting. I presume you played. Did you play 14?
I did play 14. I played
Right on.
every one that came out. I was playing. My team's Kentucky, so what do I have to do? I obviously back in the day before Road to Glory actually became like a
Right.
big thing. You had to make a quarterback and a middle linebacker. You had to play both sides of the ball, you know.
Okay.
And it's my number one project every time the game comes out to lead Kentucky to what they'll never get to is a
Right.
national championship and a SEC championship. So. But yeah, it was something I religiously played. And when it came out, like I was waiting for it. I kept like doing like studies on when the game would come out, and then I was like every of the naysayers, like, oh, it ain't coming out. And then they came out with their trailer, like,
Dude,
it's
the trailer
coming.
was
And
fire.
Dude, I
Yeah.
straight
man,
finished 5 times during that trailer.
I mean, I finished before even watching it, and I'm like, oh man, this never
Yeah.
happens to me. Which I
Right,
tell every
right.
chick, but hey, it is
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
It's just that the trailer's so pretty.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
dude,
mean,
that trailer was
well,
like, dude, I shed a little tear. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude. Yeah,
it's
man, they totally
nostalgia.
captured it. It is the nostalgia. Yeah, it was fantastic. So, as a Kentucky player, are you in any online dynasties?
I have my own, and then I'm in a couple
Okay.
also where I'm in one where I play with Kentucky, another one where I play with Kentucky, and then
Mhm.
I'm in a couple that some of my guys in my league started actually, which is good because they play with 1-star teams, so it's like Western Kentucky, and then
Yeah.
Marshall is who I'm using as another one, and that way
Yep.
I can use the whole. I'm a horrible person. Sorry if you had family members die in Marshall. Family event. Sorry about it. It's a family event here. But
Right.
I've just used the excuse. Hey, my starters died in a plane crash. That's why I left.
Nice, I like it.
But
There you go.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
good
good.
times. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, so we like, our dad's league that Anthony and I play in, we also use 1-star, 1.5-star teams. I'm using Hawaii. He's using Anthony, who do you use?
I got Buffalo, and
Right.
we're rising up. We're a full 1.5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. So how are things going? Like in the league where you get to use Kentucky, how's it going?
I will say like fucking right now is. I wish I could put it out for people right now to watch. I mean, feel free. Name is Aunt Jemima Syrup 01 on Twitch. Look it up, watch it, and you'll see some of my other guys on there. But it is so close. We have all users in like we're the top 15 right now, and
Wow.
Big Ten and SEC is really hammering it out. We're like, there's several games this week which are going to kick people out of the playoffs. Like it's nail biters, and there's people waiting on the outside that are going to get in debate like based on these fucking games right now. Like I'm looking at my
Right.
schedule, and I got a number 6 Georgia versus a number 10 Georgia Tech. That's going to kick one of those
Dude,
two out of the playoffs. Yeah, and
that's
there
cool.
was
So everybody's using top teams in that league then.
yeah, we got top teams, and then there's some people using like we got a guy using Boston College.
Mhm.
Um, we got a guy in here, bless his heart, and I'm gonna say it because I'm from the South.
Sure.
Guy using Kansas. Fucking sorry, buddy, for calling you out on this podcast.
Right.
He's our
Dude,
favorite
what?
turd of this fucking play
Yeah,
like league.
and then
'Cause
some
he
other
just don't win.
loser, right? Some other loser scraping the bottom of the barrel using the Kentucky Wildcats.
Hey, yeah, that's I'm number
All right. So
11,
how
babe.
are you
We're
doing
rolling in.
personally?
Me
How are you
personally,
doing
well,
personally? Yeah.
all right, here my guys are going to be listening. So I was up undefeated for a little bit. Me and Tennessee played. He's wanting to hear this. He feels like he got cheated. It was tied, and he paused the game to go. He had the ball. He was driving with less than a minute left.
Right.
He went to pause the game to go get his kid a juice box. It gave him the loss. I just
No
Oh,
buddy.
way.
damn.
Undefeated still. It happens. It
Dude, over a
happens.
juice box. I love that
Over
story.
a kid's juice
Oh,
box, man. Over a kid's
that's
juice box. But
awesome.
we're playing Oklahoma in our league. Shout out to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Up in the fourth quarter is up 21-7. Dude scores 29 points on me in the fourth quarter. Blew the
Oh
game.
my
Damn.
God.
Took my first loss. I was number 2 in the nation. And then I played our Missouri guy who was on number 3. I ended up losing by a fucking field goal in that game. And that
Dude,
would have bumped. But it's all right. I'm still number 11. I play Louisville this week.
there you go.
Louisville. I'm in one of his leagues. I'm fucking coming for you. You can't dodge me, brother. By the time this podcast comes out, I'm gonna already hang up my other victory, and we'll be in the fucking playoffs. But I'm fucking
Nice.
throwing the L down right now. If you can see
Well,
me,
this
Louisville,
this
it's
might
going on.
this might release tomorrow, man. So
Yeah.
if you
well,
Yeah. I
need to
think we're
talk your
gonna.
shit, you need to like get it out of
Hey,
your system right now.
Right. You got
I'm
to do
just
like the old
saying.
school wrestling promo.
Hey, forget about it. I'm over here, Vince McMahon, and I got balls the size of fucking grapefruits. I'm making it happen.
I love it. I love it.
Perfect. That
So
dude sounds like a real jabroni.
so it
Oh
sounds
man.
like in this league, you guys have essentially like the entire Big Ten and SEC is all players. Are there any computer teams in there?
We got some computer teams in the SEC, and we actually got some users coming late for like A&M and Texas, which sucks. Is like, and our Alabama user just kind of flaked out last minute. But we have these great teams in the SEC, and no one's taking them. Like we're like, I'm like over here, like, come on, like we'll get people to take them, and then they'll like bow out, and it's
Ah,
so
Yeah. Well,
crazy.
so how often do you guys advance?
So we went from advancing every 4 to 5 days, and now we do every 72 hours. And I tell you,
Oh
like
wow.
it, yeah, and it's a little quicker, but I told the guys like going forward, like with where I want to take the league to, um, and to be able to post content to y'all's Facebook page as well, and get people more interested and drive in like a more of like an exciting audience and a more anticipation of like bigger games that we're going to
hmm
probably have to go back to the 4 or 5 days because with me working and everything else, and if once I get other people to help, you just can't make the anticipation and excitement of a game like we just had Michigan and Ohio State play, and I can't like build something up for that if I only got 48 hours to do it. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah,
doesn't
sure.
work out
Especially
that
if
way.
if you're trying to like build an audience, giving them a heads up, like, hey, our high profile game is 4 days from now, then you can kind of like essentially advertise and build that audience to it, get a good list, get people watching and do those kind of
Exactly.
things. And,
Yeah.
and that's honestly how you build an audience. It's hard to build an audience when it's like every 16 hours, you better tune the fuck in. Like people got lives and shit. We're all,
Exactly. That's what
adults
I'm
for the
saying.
most
Yeah.
part.
This isn't like our job. You know what I mean? But I would like. I know there's people out there because I have guys in my league that are like wanting to. They're bored at work and wanting to watch it. You know what I mean? And
mm,
people are, and I think people like e-gaming and everything, but I mean, I don't think it's scratched the surface yet of where like people could be watching um college football. I mean, holy shit, like it could be a huge thing, and you guys got this great platform already to do it, and it's like, oh my gosh, just like, that's where it starts at, is people get these wonderful ideas on how to do things.
Right.
And
When
Sure,
we
yeah.
started the page, that was the goal from the beginning, is we wanted it to be a place where folks who are creating original content, who are bringing something to the table, have like this clearinghouse where they have access to now our 70,000 members and they can get the
73,000. Don't
audience.
fucking sell short.
oh
Ah, well,
shit,
and by the
yeah,
time people
well,
hear this, who knows, maybe 74,000. So, and that's the goal. So when you do your Twitch stream, you said it was Aunt Jemima 01. Am I remembering that
Aunt,
right?
Aunt Jemima syrup, nothing
Oh, Aunt
racist
Jemima
about it. I
syrup.
I just love that syrup, man. And you know
Yeah,
what? You
okay.
can come in and get sticky icky with my Twitch stream anytime you want to.
All right, so when you guys broadcast these games, is it just the game or do you guys do commentary? Like what do you
You know,
do to make it yours?
right now we do we don't have commentary set up, right?
Okay.
So but
Yep.
the way I'm working this out, right? So next season my goal is to have a broadcast team for the games. So
Whoa.
when someone tunes in, I'm going to have a dedicated broadcaster to the actual game, and depending on like the caliber of game it is, there might be two broadcasters in the game. And
Dude, that's
with
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
with the
that would be
game of the
cool.
week, I have a pregame show. So like I'm gonna have like both people come in and do their own little like a coach would, you know what I mean? Like before a game, they're gonna talk to each like individual play like they were the coach of the team, like, hey, like what is your game plan for this and that?
Dude,
And
that's
another
cool.
yeah, and I've already
Yeah,
started to
that
do that with this on like on Discord, but I want
Wow.
it to be a more mainstream that people can like jump in and watch it out, and they can build a love for that coach that they have for their team or just any other team, like the good and the like. We got heels in our league. I'm calling Oregon out. He's going to be listening to this, that fucking
Dude,
asshole
that's
over here
great.
talking shit. Yeah, but we got him in our league, you know what I mean? And they're shit talkers, and it's great. And we've had some people leave, because
Uh-huh.
they get butt hurt. And
Right.
I control the shit talking a little bit, but
Mhm.
I want that there. Like it get tough skin, but
Dude.
you gotta have that like that driving factor where people want to watch, and they want that guy that is kicking ass and talking shit to almost lose, but then you got people who want him to win. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
It's
just
sure,
like
yeah,
in pro
you got to
wrestling.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like pro
Everybody's
wrestling,
going
but
to tune in and watch somebody get beat, or they're going to tune in and watch the underdog win, and that's good
yeah, or
TV, you
watch the
know.
upset. You know what I mean? Like Oregon and Nebraska. Nebraska came in and fucking throttled Oregon's ass. I mean, spanked his ass. And
Yep.
they played again, and Oregon beat them in an exhibition. I have to keep reeling them back because I'm like, it really didn't count. You're gonna have to wait till the Big Ten championship, and
Dude.
I'll be posting that on your guys' website. Who wins the Big Ten after this, so people can know who it
Right.
is.
That's awesome.
And
So, in addition to our Facebook page, the EA Sports College Football headquarters, where do people go if they want in on all this action? Is it just your Aunt Jemima Syrup page, or is there somewhere more general to get the league?
that is something I'm gonna have to establish, and I'm gonna need to do better
Okay.
at. I know I posted in your group before, but what I look to do is I'm gonna create a YouTube channel for it, and
Nice.
that's where I'm gonna get like games of the week in there and everything else. And then what people can do is I'm gonna put the actual like Discord channel in there where people can go in and like tune in to like the shit talking going on and just general information if they want to check out
Right.
games and stuff like that. They won't be able to like have access to typing and everything, but
Hmm.
that
But
would
they
be
can
like
see all the action and get the
they can kind
enjoyment
of
out
see
of.
other
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they can see it,
I
get
got
the
you.
action like that. Yeah.
All right, so here's a pro tip for you. You feel free to use this one because Anthony and I, back in the olden days, used to have a fantasy football league where we had to do all the scoring by hand. And so I was the commissioner of that league, and I would write up recaps every week. And one time, there was a member of our league who we were all like personal friends, that he got hospitalized with some sort of throat infection. Oh, Anthony already knows where this is going.
Yeah,
He got hospitalized with some kind of throat infection, and his throat closed up, and he almost died.
Oh
And it was
shit.
right around this time of year. Yeah, and he was in like the ICU, and it was real fucking serious. And so when I wrote up our recap that week, I talked a little bit about what happened to him. And I said, you know, what you guys don't realize is that this time of year is when Chris celebrates what he calls Cocktoberfest. And he sucks as much dick as he can, and one of the sperms wound up going into one of the cells in his throat. And, and dude, and so he said that like he's in the hospital like with these tubes and shit, and you know, worried that he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's like
die. And
dying.
yeah, he's literally
Oh man.
dying. And then he sees this thing, Cocktoberfest. He's like, what is wrong with my friends?
Yeah, his merciless closest friends that just,
Yeah, dude.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
good
who cares
times.
if he's dying? Here's a good chance to make fun of him.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, feel free to do that to the people in your league. You know, if any of
You
them
know, recently
die.
his balls got real huge. Remember
Oh
that?
my
We
God,
didn't.
that's true,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, so the same
it's too
guy.
bad we didn't still have the fantasy football league, or we
Dude.
could have definitely made some hay with that.
That would have been great. Yeah, he
Right.
went for a vasectomy, and they wound up nicking like this blood vessel in his sack, and it
Yeah,
bled into his sack, and his sack got like huge and purple. Dude, it was awful.
it was like a
It was awful.
volleyball.
It was, yeah,
The
yeah. So by all
elephantitis
means,
over there. Oh man.
exactly. You get a vasectomy, you know, I'm all for that, but be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. All right. So when you get your stream up and running, when you get the YouTube page, by all means, come back onto Balls Deep and we will promote the heck out of that because that's exactly the kind of content that we're looking for on here.
Yeah, that's what I
Absolutely.
want. That's what I want to give you guys. And actually, like by the time that's set up too, I'm adding a new thing with the league where I'm going to do the ACC Big 12 challenge and the SEC Big 10 challenge. So I'm going to take random teams out of that. So it's going to get randomly pulled, and users from those conferences are going to face off, and then it's going to be more shit talking of who the best conference was out of those
Yeah.
groups for that
Yeah,
year. And
I'm
Nice.
super excited for all this. We were talking about this the other day. Me and him have texted back and forth kind of over the last few weeks as we got to know each other, and I realized like this guy is he's definitely understands like what we're trying to do, and I get what he's trying to do, and it's awesome because those two things really are on the same page like right from the start, and so I think like our future with guys like him and guys from his league that are going to try to come in and really provide a lot of great content. It's gonna feed itself. You know, we're gonna be able to help them. They're gonna be able to help us.
Right.
And dude, I cannot wait.
So
oh,
one of
100%.
the
And
nice things. Oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was going to say, I can't wait till it gets more and you get more guys that have leagues. Because I tell you what, I guarantee you out there, and I will put my guys against your guys, and my league will fucking crush you. And I put
That's
a
what I'm
challenge
talking
out.
about.
I fucking
That
put a
is what I'm
challenge out
fucking
to the
talking
top
about.
guys on the leaderboard in EA Sports right now. Bring your fucking shit, boys, because my guys are about to handle their shit, and I
Oh,
cannot
dude,
wait till we get more in
dude,
here
this
because
this
my guys are
episode
fucking
is gonna
coming.
fucking
Yeah,
rile people
dude.
up, dude.
Yeah, my guys
That
are
is
fucking
awesome.
coming, and you can find
Yeah.
them. Go ahead, I'll give you. You know what? My league is going to be on. We already posted. There's a tournament coming out. Fucking join. See if you got the shit. See
There you
if
go.
you have that shit, because I'm ready. We are ready.
Well,
Let's just
the
say
guys
that.
in our league are coming too, but it's more in a homoerotic way.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
yes.
All
A,
right. So
ho-
once
a
all this stuff,
homoerotic seizure. Yes.
there you go. So once all this stuff takes off, you know, the hope is that you get this audience and you build exposure, and eventually like ad revenue starts coming in, and next thing you know, you're Mr. Beast. And that's the goal for all of us. Here at Balls Deep, we have a sponsor, and that sponsor is the He Held On Foundation. And Anthony, tell Ty and the listeners what He Held On does.
The He Held On Foundation is through generous donations. They help old people, elderly people, complete their bucket list before their time is up. You know, it's like we make a wish, but for the elderly, because most
There
people,
you
you know,
go.
they're forgotten. When, you know, grandma, grandpa gets too old, people, you know, you kind of stop seeing them. Well, that's where the He Held On Foundation comes in. And
Right
so,
on.
Alan, tell us more about them.
Yeah. So on that note, here's our copy for this week. It is about Edward Alger. Edward Alger bought his first bicycle in 1953 when he was 11 years old. It was a Schwinn Phantom. As a teenager, Edward completed his first century ride, pedaling 100 miles from his home in Ames, Iowa to Eldora and back. Edward would ride road bikes for 6 more decades. But one of Edward's biggest regrets was that he was too old when Red Bull started hosting its Rampage event in the Ragged Hills of Virgin, Utah. At the He Held On Foundation, we don't believe in too old. Thanks to your generous financial gifts, we help Edward live the impossible dream, putting him in the saddle of a Yeti SB 165 and bringing him to the top of Gooseberry Mesa. With a little push from his great-grandnephew, Edward started down the course and took an extremely aggressive line, completely ignoring the first turn and instead going straight off a 93-foot ledge. Edward looked to be attempting a front flip, and he got about halfway around before his trick and his ride and his life were brought to an abrupt end by a flat slab of sandstone. One astonished racer said that Edward's ride was, quote, the gnarliest thing I've ever seen, end quote.
Dude, we should all be so lucky.
Yeah, buddy. Living the dream, man. Living the dream. So that is the He Held On Foundation. And once again, Ty, thank you very much for coming on today. We really appreciate having you, and we will have you on again soon.
Sounds good, brother.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Good having
guys,
you, man.
Thanks for listening. Yep.
Okay.
All right, bye.